If you need to get your funny on, chicken like it's hot, chicken like it's hot, chicken like it's hot. If you really ain't in the mood, turn the chicken off, turn the chicken off, turn the chicken off. If you need to get a laugh today, let the chicken talk, let the chicken talk, let the chicken talk. It's 3 a.m. triple N, I'm him. Push play on your device and let the funny begin. Uncool. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah. I want to tell you, I want to welcome everybody to this 26th episode of Uncooked Chicken. It's an improvisational podcast, you know what I'm saying? And every podcast I do has a theme song, you know what I'm talking about? I want to thank Snoop D-O-double-G. Yeah. I want to thank Skateboard P. Yeah. For letting me borrow that intro right there. So appreciate that. You know what they talk about? You know, you heard about like name association? You ever heard of that? Name association? You know, that's like when you listen to something and then it becomes it. You know, it's like I'm driving around listening to Snoop, and all of a sudden, my vehicle, you know what I'm saying, the hybrid studios of NateNathaNathaniel, it starts smelling like burnt rope up in here, you know what I'm saying? It's a cloud of bang, bang, bing, bong, or something like that. A cloud of rope. Smells like burnt rope up in my car. Got a mushroom cloud up in here, you know what I'm saying? You kidding me? A name association. You know what I mean? I get pulled over by the po-po. Po-po come pull me over. He said, "Excuse me." I said, "Yes, officer. How could the chicken help you?" He said, "It looks like you doing drugs in your car." I said, "No, the chicken don't do drugs. The chicken don't do drugs." He said, "Where's the cloud of smoke, sir?" I said, "Yeah, man, I'm listening to Snoop." I'm listening to Snoop. He said, "I get that." He said, "Officer said, I get that." Me too. Ain't that crazy, huh? You know what I'm saying? Name association. What you listen to. You know what I'm saying? You are. You know what I'm talking about? Crazy. You know what I'm saying? Every time I listen to Beyonce, I'm running late. You know what I'm talking about? Every time I listen to B, I'm late as hell. You know what I'm talking about? But I show up right on time. Listen, I see you, B. I see you. Every time I listen to Katy Perry, listen. First of all, I don't. Listen, hey, but I listen to Katy Perry. Next thing you know, everything I do is bad. You know what I'm saying? I drive bad. You know what I'm talking about? Listen, everything I do bad. Can't do anything good. Listen, drive my car. Can't listen to P. Diddy when I drive my car. Can't listen to Puff. You know what I'm saying? Because then my steering wheel, listen, I get baby oil. Baby oil all over the damn steering wheel. Listen, I'm going to get in an accident. Can't even turn left, turn right. Hands all slippery, dippery here. Yeah, man. Listen. Anyway, listen. This hand, man, name association is real. It is real. Hey, man, listen, I want to thank everybody again for joining me in this improvisational podcast called Uncooked Chicken, baby. Episode 26. I am your host, the one and only Triple N, NateNathaNathaniel. All three of them names is me. And listen, I do this in my hybrid studio. That's my car. You know what I'm talking about? And you can hear the raindrops, baby. And listen, ain't no weather gonna stop us. You know what I'm saying? Rain, hail, sleet, snow. It don't matter. The comedy still flow. Come on now. Now listen, on Uncooked Chicken, the reason I call it uncooked is because there's no edits. There's no edits. If I make a mistake, you know what we do. Listen, we live with it. We live with all them errors. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, you make errors in life. What you gonna do about them errors? You gonna just cry about it? I made a mistake. Oh my God. Stop. Pause it. We gotta rewind. No. Hell no. Hell no. Listen, we keep going. We learn from it. We learn and we do better the next time. Yeah. That's what you gotta do. Life's like that. Yeah, that's why it's uncooked, baby. Uncooked raw. Here it is. Yeah. Anyway, on Uncooked Chicken. If you never heard of me, NateNathaNathaniel, I give you 3 F topics that I'm working on. The funny I'm working on, yeah, son. And I'm spitballing, creating this comedy, the familiar that's going on in the world according to me, NateNathaNathaniel. And the last F topic is for real though, or fake news, is where I give you a story or something, and you got to decide if I'm telling it like it is, or I'm telling it like a fib, like a lie. Telling it like it is, or telling it like a fib. You know what I'm saying? For real though, or fake news, that's what it's called. Yeah, man, listen. You know what, man? I thought about this. I'm like, you know when people date like real young, like I'm talking about like Drake Young. You know what I'm talking about? Like Kendrick versus Drake Young, like grandkid young. When you date somebody that's just too damn young for you, why is it always the men's fault in any situation when you date young? I'm talking about grandkid young. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It's always the man's fault. It don't matter if the man is 95 and the woman's 25. It don't matter if the man is 25 and the woman is 95. It don't matter how you slice it and dice it. It's always the man's fault. We the villain. The men are the villain. Just accept it, men. Accept it. That's how it is. I'm telling you. Yeah. You know what they got, like, you know that one coach that coach at the NFL, you know, he ain't in the NFL right now. He's coaching college. You know, Bill Belichick. You know, he rode Tom Brady's coattails and everything. Yeah. Anyway, listen, you know, he didn't win one without Tom, did he? I don't think so. Yeah. Talking about it takes a good coach. Hell, it does, but you better have some Joes. You better listen, Jimmys and Joes. You know what I'm talking about? You better have a play up in there. You better have somebody up in there that can do something. You ain't gonna win with Liz. Anyway, innocent. He ain't talking about no sports right now. Talking about Bill Belichick. He like 73 years old or something. And he's dating a 24-year-old. Yeah. Grandkid young. You know what I'm talking about? Drake 2.0. Listen. You know, and I'm sure it's not Bill's. Listen, Bill didn't know, right? He was innocent, right? Bill's on an airplane, and he met his girl, and she was like, excuse me, old man. What do you do for a living? They just happened to be sitting next to each other, right on the airplane. And he's like, well, you know, I'm a coach for, and I won some championships. Oh, I never heard of you. She's like, what's your name? Oh, William Belichick. You know, he didn't even give his real name or something like that. And she didn't know who he was, and all of a sudden, you know, they became an item because they were love on first flight. You know, they was on the airplane. Love at first flight, you know. Come on, man, you know. Listen, you know that girl, she know who he was. She seen his Super Bowl rings, you know what I'm talking about? She said, let me think, if I get with this guy, he's 73, 10 for 20. That's what she said, 10 for 20. You know what that means? That means she's like, I can take care of him for 10 years and wipe his butt and clean his nose and change his diapers, and then I'll have 20 million when he's dead. 10 for 20. Listen. But you're like, no, she didn't say that. She didn't say that. That's wrong. That's wrong, chicken. That's wrong, chicken Adamus. We'll see. We'll see in 10 years. We'll see how wrong the chicken is, and tell you, I'm putting it out there. But you know what it's all about? No, it's not her fault. It was Bill's fault. He's a predator. He saw her and he's like, ooh, I'm gonna date grandkid young. I got 6 championship rings. I'm gonna get a 7th ring, and I'm gonna wifey this 24-year-old little baby. Now listen, I know that's nasty. Listen, I ain't promoting it. I'm just saying, you know, listen, you dating grandkid young, that just don't make no damn sense. You know what I'm talking about? That's crazy. Like, hey girl, why don't you know, they have a family reunion. Hey, why don't you go play with my grandkids? You know, the adults are talking. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how that dynamic's gonna work at family functions. You know what I'm talking about? Listen, Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, you know, he got his grandkids over. They gave him some Crayola crayons or some shit. They all coloring and everything. Go color with the kids, you know what I'm saying? Go play what they call it, the Switch. Go play the Nintendo Switch. You know what I'm saying? Grown folks are talking. I don't know how that dynamic is, but you know, it ain't her fault, it's Bill's fault. He tried to get him a 24-year-old trophy. He need another chip. He need another chip, another ring to show that he can win without Tom Brady. He like, look, Tom, I won one. I won one. You got divorced from Giselle. I won one. You know what I'm saying? Bill, relax, Bill. You know what I'm saying? Relax. Just saying, grandkid young and Bill Belichick. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, listen, man, that ain't the funny I'm working on. It ain't the funny. The first F topic, stop it. The first F topic I want to talk about is, listen, TikTok misinformation. Yeah, I call it TMI. TikTok misinformation. Yeah, listen, that's when TikTok tells you something or gives you something and takes you down a rabbit hole, and at the end of the day, it's fake news. You know what I'm saying? Fake news, but I didn't know that I was a victim of TMI, TikTok misinformation. Listen, man, TikTok misinformation. Them fools, listen, they done told me that Bruce Willis, you know what I'm saying? They said Bruce Willis has died. And I was so sad. I'm like, no, not Bruce Willis. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, that's crazy. You know, like if Bruce died, I'm like, man, listen, I hope he didn't die hard. You know, that's what I was hoping. I'm like, oh, hope it was all right with him. You know, I thought it'd be real cool too. Like if Bruce knew he was about to die, like he would just say, if he would just like hold the mic up, he'd be like, yippee-ki-yay, mofo. You know what I'm saying? He dropped the mic like, that's how you drop the mic. Like if you know you gonna die, if you know it's your time, you just say something right before you go. You know, that's how you drop a mic. Yippee-ki-yay, mofo. You know, and then pow. That's epic right there. That's epic. That'd be nice anyway. Listen, but they TikTok misinformation. They told me that Bruce Willis had died, and I was flipping through all my channels and everything. I'm like, where is the tribute? You know what I'm saying? This man had a lot of movies. Where's Die Hard 1? Where's Die Hard 2? Where's Die Hard 3? Where's Die Hard 4? I didn't see any of them. I'm like, damn it, TNT, TBS, where'd he give this man his flowers? I didn't see no Armageddon. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see the Sixth Sense. I ain't see none of his shows. I'm like, you son of my guns. Where in the hell? I said, America, we suck. How we not gonna give Bruce Willis his flowers? You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm talking about? Then I found out, listen, then I went to work and everything. I got a nerd friend at work, you know what I'm saying? I said, hey man, you heard Bruce Willis died. He said, no man, I didn't hear that. I said, yeah, man, I heard he died. TikTok told me he died. He said, no, let me check. And he started to fact check it. And everything. And he said, no, it looked like Bruce is still alive. He got like some dementia, something deteriorating with his mind. But other than that, he's still hanging on. Like hair on a biscuit. I said, what? I said, no. I said, damn it, TikTok misinformation. I can't believe it, man. It got me. I said, man, I ain't believe this. Then next, listen. Next, TikTok misinformation. They got me again. They told me that the actor that played Darth Vader, James Earl Jones, they told me he died. Yeah, man. They said he died they told me he died like 3 months before he really died, So I was like, oh no. James Earl Jones. You know what I'm talking about? Talking about Mufasa. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the Lion King. Really? Y'all talk about that guy right there who was on Coming to America. What? Secondhand Lions. What? Come on now, all them good shows he was doing, you know what I'm saying? I said, where? I looked on the TV, I said, where's his tribute? Where's his tribute? You know what I'm saying? I ain't see nothing. I ain't see none of all his movies he made, you know what I'm saying? I ain't see nothing. Return of the Jedi, you know what I'm talking about? Empire Strikes Back. Nothing. And I was mad, man. I had his funeral already. You know what I'm saying? I had his repast. Listen, we had his wake. You know what I'm talking about? I mourned him hard. I always felt like Luke. You know when Luke found out that Vader was his daddy? You know, he's like, no! You know, I never believed that Luke, listen, I never believed that Vader was his daddy. Listen, Vader's voice was like, did Obi-Wan tell you? You know, search your feelings, Luke, for you know them to be true. You know, it is like, you know, I just didn't think that Luke doesn't sound anything like Vader. You know what I'm saying? Luke's like, oh, no, I'm a Jedi, like my father before me. How the hell does that sound like? That don't sound nothing like, these are not the droids you are looking for. I will only tell you one more time. That sounds nothing, they don't sound anything like that. You know, 23andMe lied, you know what I'm saying? They lied. You know what I'm talking about? Luke's father ain't black, stop it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't. Anyway, Luke got that from his mama's side. He crying and everything. No, not true. Not true. Join me, son, and we can rule the galaxy together. Yeah. He ain't got that from Mama Dollar. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get that from James L. Jones. James L. Jones, I never heard Vader cry. You know how Vader gonna cry? No. You know, he screamed when he found out his... No. You know he does that. He ain't crying. Stop. Anyway, listen, man, that's how I felt like Luke crying and everything. You know, Vader died. I had some funeral potatoes and everything. Yeah. I made some, what they call them things, some macaroni and cheese and everything. Yeah, had that at the repast. You know what I'm saying? And then, come to find out that Darth Vader did not die. You know, yeah, he died 3 months after TikTok misinformation told me he died. Yes, sir. So I was like, man, that's crazy. And then I went to work and my nerd friend was like, hey, man, this is 3 months later. My nerd friend was like, hey, man, did you hear that Darth Vader died? The actor James Earl Jones that played Darth Vader. I said, yeah. I was all nonchalant. I was like, yeah, man, I heard. You're not trying to play it off? Yeah, man, I heard. He's like, well, excuse me, NateNathaNathaniel. I thought you would like the Darth Vader movies. Thought you liked Star Wars. You ain't feeling nothing? I said, yeah, I am not trying. Listen, I said, man, it ain't my fault, man. I already funeralized them. You know what I'm saying? I already had everything. I already mourned them. I can't mourn with you like the rest of the world. TikTok took that away from me. You know what I'm saying? I said, I already had his funeral 3 months ago, man. Damn it, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? No. Not true. You know what I'm saying? Sorry about that. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was, you know? TikTok misinformation. Tired of it. Somebody really need to sell it. Sell it. Tired of that thing. Give me some real information. So I got to fact check. Anytime somebody tell me something about TikTok, like, got to fact check that one. Yes, sir. Anyway, that's funny I'm working on, man. Listen, the next F topic is the familiar that's going on in the world, according to me. Yeah, man, listen. They had space origin or blue origin. I swear that sounds like some kind of enhancement. That's an enhancement name, blue origin. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, blue origin. You know, with the 6 ladies and everything, whatever, they landed back on Earth. They came back. It's cool. They could have left somebody there, but it's cool. I'm glad they all came back safely. You know, I guess the enhancement works. You know, Katy Perry, she does the most. You know, she in there with a damn daisy and a daisy. Anyway, her kid name is Daisy something, so she got a flower. She got a flower and she showing off her daisy. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? And she come back and kiss the ground. You know, I kissed the ground and I liked it. Whatever, Katie. We know you like kissing everything. Yeah, whatever, man. Just saying it was just, who cares? Anyway, that's enough about her. You know what I'm saying? What else is going on in the world? Listen, man, Easter, the resurrection day is coming up. Yes, sir. I hope y'all saved. Hope y'all know what the season's really for. Listen, I'm just saying, I but everybody else is celebrating Easter bunnies and everything. Now, I always want to know, America, how the hell you gonna hunt for eggs? Eggs cost, like $2 an egg, and you gonna put eggs out? That's expensive to just trash them. Ain't nobody collected. You collect eggs, you ain't eating them. How many people say, oh shit, I collected 50 eggs, I'm gonna eat all of them? No, it's just a waste. You can't be wasting them eggs this year. Ain't nobody doing that. You know what I'm saying? You better be using some jelly beans or some plastic shell eggs or something. You ain't using no damn real Easter eggs, But here we go. Listen, America, this we need to do. This we need to do. We need to just blame the lack. You ain't gonna have Easter egg hunt this year. Blame it on President Trump and also Elon Musk. Just say Doge took away Easter. Let's say that. Listen, Doge fired the Easter bunny. Peter Cottontail, he got released. The department, listen, the DOGE, you know what I'm saying? The Department of, what do you call that? The G, what the G gonna be? Department of, getting rid of, the Department of getting rid of Easter. You know what I'm saying? DOGE, Doge. You know what I'm saying? Department of getting rid of Easter. Here's what happened. Elon cut the budget. Peter Cottontail, he ain't got no damn, he ain't around no more. So that's just to tell your kids, Doge got him. You know what I'm saying? Doge got him. That's what happened. Anyway, so I was curious about how that's gonna go down. Plastic eggs, to do that, and you'll be all right. You'll be good. You know what I'm saying? And what else is the familiar going on in the world, according to me? Listen, Stephen A. Smith, he was at a Laker game and everything, and third quarter, LeBron rolled up to him. LeBron was like, you better keep Bronny's name out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? And LeBron went to the peak, the what's that name? The Pat McAfee show and everything. And he was telling his story how, he thinks Stephen A. Smith is on some kind of Taylor Swift concert run, and he just running his mouth and popping trash, and all of a sudden, hey, listen, LeBron had to father up. He said, don't be talking about my son. Now listen, LeBron's about 250 pounds, you know what I'm saying? 6'9", you know what I'm talking about? Stephen A. didn't want none of LeBron James. You kidding me? He didn't want none of that smoke. Nah, man, I'm telling you, he didn't. And Stephen A. got on his show talking about there wasn't a basketball player that confronted me that night. That was a father, and I can understand that. And if I knew the situation, let me tell you something. If LeBron would have put hands on me, it wouldn't have been no Chris Rock situation. I would have put hands back on him, and I would have got my ass kicked. But it wouldn't have been no Chris Rock situation. Now, anyway, listen, I'll tell you let's call it two truths and a lie. Two truths and a lie, you know what I'm saying? Listen, the truth is, listen, LeBron would have kicked his ass. He did tell the truth there. Yes, sir, LeBron would have kicked his ass. Yes, sir. The second truth is, listen, LeBron did come up to him and tell him, listen, keep my son's name out your damn mouth. But the lie is Stephen A. Smith would have put hands on LeBron James. That's the lie. Listen, Stephen 6'1", LeBron 6'9". Stephen A. wouldn't have had a chance to put hands on LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Stephen. Stephen need to relax. Relax like that hairline, my guy. Just relax. You know what I mean? Just settle it back. Settle down. You know what I'm saying? Relax. Let me tell you something about that, brother. I would have put my soft microphone hands on LeBron James. If he would have came up to me, if we was in a different setting and it wasn't a confrontation in front of America, let me tell you something about LeBron. I would have put these soft lotion hands all up on LeBron's face. I would have just Smacked him. I would just, and man, LeBron would have punched Stephen right in his throat, and it would have been nothing else. Let that been one. It'd have been two hits. LeBron would have hit him in his throat, and then Stephen would have hit the ground. That's 2 hits. That's the only 2 hits that would have happened right there. You know, let me tell you something about that, bro. Pop. Let me tell you. Again. So, you want to shut Stephen A. Smith up? Yeah, let LeBron punch him in the throat. You ain't gotta worry about. Listen, Marley, help me, Marley. Let me tell you, help Marley. He be calling Marley for help. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's the familiar that's going on in the world today. According to me, listen. The last F topic, man, I call it for real though or fake news. Listen, for real though or fake news, man. Listen, you know, in April they have this fake holiday. You know, it's called April Fool's Day. You know what I'm saying? I really thought that Inauguration Day was April Fool's Day. I'm like, oh man, America, we getting punked, right? This ain't true. You know, I'm like, Luke, no, not true, no. You know, listen, this is not the candidate that you voted for. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so they got this April Fool's thing going on and everything. And I usually don't, I don't participate in April Fool's Day, for real though, fake news. But this year, last year I decided to. And so, for real though, fake news, what I did, I call it the HoneyScape. Listen, little HoneyScape. Listen, let me tell you what NateNathaNathaniel did. For real though, fake news, man. I put honey all over the doorknobs. You know what I'm saying? Honey on the bathroom door. Listen, honey, for real though, fake news, on the outside door. Listen, honey on the inside door. HoneyScape, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get these food today, yes sir. And then, listen, I went early in the morning because you know my hustle starts like at 3 a.m. Listen, you know we got a podcast, we got to hustle. Anyway, I went to my kid's house and everything, and I put honey in the car, on the steering wheel, you know what I'm saying? And not listen, it wasn't baby oil. No, it wasn't baby oil. I put honey on the steering wheel, for real though, fake news. I put honey on the door handle, you know what I'm saying? I put honey on the passenger door handle and everything, you know what I'm saying? For real though, fake news. And then, you know, I just waited. I went to my hustles. I just waited, for real though, fake news. And next thing you know, I just waited. Then I text my kids. I text them. I say, hey, how's your day? Are you having a sweet day? You know what I'm saying? For real fake news, how you having a sweet day? You know what I'm saying? And then, next thing you know, I heard, oh, that was you, Daddy. That was you. I said, oh, what you talking about? For real fake news. They said, man, I opened the bathroom door. Bam, I got honey on me. I opened the door to the house. Bam, I got honey on me. Oh, Daddy, that was you. I was like, I don't know if it was me. That could have been your mama. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. Yeah, your daddy, you really don't do that. That was interesting that you did. I was like, hey, did I really do that? Did I really put the HoneyScape and put it all over the place? For real though, big news. You know what I'm saying? Then my son called me. He like, hey. He said, man, I had honey all over the place. I went to my apartment complex and I had them look at video and they said, they said an RBG. They said there was an RBG that were putting honey on my door of my car. I said an RGB. I said what's an R? Listen, I said what's an RBG? He said they said some random black guy was putting honey all over my car and inside my car and everything. And I thought it was my girlfriend. For real though, fake news. Listen, did I HoneyScape? Listen. Did I HoneyScape my kids? You know, did I put honey all over their house and all over their car doors and everything? Listen, is that for real though? Is that fake news? I don't know, it's a sticky situation. We got to find out the next time I dropped episode 27 of Uncooked Chicken. Yes sir. Now listen, on episode 25 of Uncooked Chicken, man, we talked about a game we used to play back in the day. Listen, it was called 3, 2, 1, Sick 'em. You know what I'm saying? Sick 'em. That's when me and my friend, for real fake news, we met in the middle of the street with our puppies and our dogs and everything, and they were on leash, and we counted down and let the leashes go, and we ran to the house. Listen, and the goal was to get to your house before you get bitten ass. Listen, did that really happen? Did we have dog chased us down and made a little game in the hood like that? Listen, that was unfortunately pausing for effect. Yeah, for real though. Yeah, man, we didn't need no Nintendo Switches. No, we just need doggy. Listen, we had the doggies getting them. Listen, dogs was our excitement right there. Yeah, man, listen. Anyway, I want to thank all y'all people that listen to the chicken, support the chicken, Uncooked Chicken, baby. Yes, sir. This episode, listen, I appreciate you listening to episode 26. If you want to leave a review for the chicken, go ahead and find it on your app and leave me a review for the chick. Listen, that's how we do this thing up in here. I appreciate all y'all for giving me 30 minutes of your time today, yes sir, and listening to the most creative comedian you never heard of, NateNathaNathaniel. I am the creators of all time. The quote is me, yes sir. Here we go. I appreciate, you know how we do. Listen, I want to thank everybody for joining me in this comedic Adventures of Uncooked Chicken. Yeah. Adventures of Uncooked Chicken. It's a commuter grind. It's what's on my mind. Comedic Adventures of Uncooked Chicken. Comedic Adventures of Uncooked Chicken. Comedic Adventures of Uncooked Chicken. Ain't no need to edit. Hell yeah, I said it. It's the Adventures of Uncooked Chicken. Hey, listen, you cannot have a chicken if you don't have a ka-kah.